one major thing I'm lacking when it comes to my indoor growing right now, and that is fruit. Today's the day that I go ahead and do strawberries. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna pull a bunch of strawberry plugs and runners from the section out there in the yard, and then it's warm outside right now, so we got another week here where the weather's actually pretty nice before the cold really rolls back in and probably stays. So I'm gonna get out there and I'm gonna pull those strawberries, and then I'm gonna get them ready and trimmed up to put into pots, which are gonna be my hanging fabric pots that I had out here. I'm gonna move them inside and get them under these grow lights. And then I also have this stackable planter that I'm gonna fill and put strawberries all in that. So right now I'm actually making up some more soil. So I'm recycling some stuff, a little bit of soil, and then I'm also adding coconut coir fiber to freshen it up and add some medium to the soil. And I also went and sifted and strained some dirt from the yard, so I have some more of that, and it's in that blue bucket there, or that blue bin. And I'm gonna mix all that, and then I'm gonna use that as the soil that I use for the strawberries. I'm gonna go ahead and rip up as much as I want to out of there. Quite a bit. I want to get a lot of them, a big chunk in sections, so in the springtime those will just grow right back. These things grow like crazy. I got a bunch of strawberries here. Now I'm gonna go ahead and move them up on the deck, and I'm gonna sort through them, and I'm gonna trim away and get them ready to plant. Trimmed them up some and got them all ready as individuals to go ahead and put into my fabric pots, and then also these planters here. So I'm going to go ahead and start setting that up with the soil, and simple as that. And then I'll go ahead and move them indoors and get them ready to grow all winter long. Go ahead and put these fabric pots on the walls and secure them, and then put the dirt and strawberries in them, and it should be glorious. You ever feel sometimes like every second feels like a minute? That's how important things are. And like when your time is being wasted, especially. Like I notice it when I listen to YouTube videos and they pop up with the ads. Like I get it, guys. You gotta make some money here, but wow. Down until there's just one leaf, really, and then the inner core. I don't know what that's called. I'm sure there's a specific word for it, but I believe two. think it's gonna do, I don't know what it's gonna do. And I guess that's the whole journey here, is I'm gonna learn what it's gonna do. And then this one looks much fuller, right? So I went ahead and covered that switch. So when I spray this down, it doesn't get wet and spark and create a fire or something crazy or short something out like nuts. And then there's this switch here that I'm gonna do the same thing with. It goes for that up there, which I don't use. And then it's gonna grow. I got a couple more fabric pots like these, and probably think one more for the horizontal, and then I have I think 3 or 4 vertical. And I'm going to put one likely here in this area, maybe 2 in this area somewhere, figure it out nice. And then maybe one over here, one somewhere, and somewhere. I'm gonna put them all in here. Take you with me here for a moment while I water everything down. See, this is my hose. It's hooked up, and I just take it and wander around the rooms when I'm ready to, water. So everybody's thirsty right now, a little thirsty. So I'm coming in here like this. This is the plan. I'm going to try to keep it off the top part up there for sure. And I covered, like I said, I covered the light socket so it doesn't get wet in there. And that's pretty much the gist of it. That's the whole idea, is I can do this and minimize as much water that drips onto the floor. And then the plastic protects the floor underneath for the most part. There's a couple little rips and stuff where water gets through, but I usually have these fans on and it circulates air, and humidity doesn't ever really build up that bad where it's molding anything, at least to my knowledge. But if I see it and notice it get too bad, I will repair it. I've had to repair a couple sections out there already, and this is actually a second layer of plastic I put down. So I believe there's one underneath this as well. So it's just before this fall and winter here, I freshened it up, put another sheet down, and I'm just going to keep doing that, layering it over top as I clean these out cyclically once a year or something, right? I don't know. Maybe something like that. And this is the gist of the watering procedure. I just have my hoses running around everywhere. I got electrical cords running around everywhere. Yeah, I'm set up just as an operation, and everything in every room is pretty much set up that way. We get dirty and dusty, and then I clean in cycles, so it's not always clean, but it gets clean. The dirt, everything gets swept up, wiped down periodically. I'm not like OCD about it though. You can tell. I went in here and I cleaned out around my avocado tree. So the avocado tree, I want to say, is doing okay. These avocado trees. I still don't know about the type A and the type B really, which you need to know about that stuff when it comes time for pollination. Pollination, they will flower from what I understand, and you have to self-pollinate them, and it takes years until they're ready. So I have 3 left. I took one down just the other day. I'm gonna let these 3 grow. There's one there, and where's the other? Right there. And I'm gonna really just get a feel for how they do, and hopefully I'll figure it out on that day, and I have a type A and a type B. That's the only thing I can hope, and they'll take up the room that they do. That's okay. I want to learn about them and see just how they progress. I'm going to put strawberries everywhere that I can. That's my big plan right now. So I cleaned that out so that I can put strawberries all in there. I'm kind of companion planting, and everywhere that there's space, all around these kales that have gotten bigger and I've just kind of built stalks, I'm going to put strawberries down and in there, and they'll just grow at the floor level and populate with strawberries while the kales continue to grow tall. And these are the planters that I have the strawberries in that I just did today. aside from the ones in the grow room there. And I'm going to position them between each light so that they do get light on each side of them. And then maybe once a week or something, I'll spin it, or maybe every few days. And I'm going to put one strawberry in here, around the pepper plants even, I'm thinking, and just see how it does. I'm going to try to just grow them everywhere that there's any empty space and really learn strawberries, because that is an essential, critical, just, one of them things where you get fruit. So I won't just have veggies growing in here, I'll have fruit growing in here, and that's, to me, that's candy, and I need that. I need those strawberries ASAP. Spring is just not, them spring berries, that's beautiful, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me. I just did the research for the pollination of the strawberries, and it's very simple. This here is the strawberry flower. Now, these things that look like spikes coming out of the center are the male parts, and that in there is the center, that yellow core is the female parts. So this flower, this plant, is like a hermaphrodite, where the pollen is right here on the flower, and that you pollinate as well, because the center is where you want to get this pollen from the outer male parts and brush it onto the center part. You just get your brush, make a brush, paintbrush, and you pick up that pollen and just move it right there across, brush it on there real good. And then about 2 days later, these outer white leaves will shrivel up, and your fruit will start to grow larger from the center. This yellow center female part will start to turn into the fruit, and you'll watch that go for around 2 weeks. Then you will have a beautiful ripe strawberry to eat. How cool is that? All right there on that flower. Naturally, in nature, the wind or the insects would get on there and they would move that around, but because I'm doing it indoors, I gotta get in there and do it myself.